I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 6:43. Chairman Nazir Glazi will not be present tonight. Jacob Morrison will not be present tonight unless he signs on during the meeting. We'll announce it. Present is Rick Semple on phone, Troy Larson, Veronica Debonese, and myself, Jim Akabachi. I'm the clerk. I'll be handling the chair this evening. Aaron is here from the planning office. Anybody else here? Sonia is here from the planning office. And so, looking at our agenda, the first thing we need to talk about is some meeting minutes from September 8th and September 22nd. Sonia, if you don't mind, are these the same ones that I went back and forth with you a couple times? We made a couple minor tweaks.
Yes, they are. And they were actually resent, the revised, what you and I discussed.
Then I did review them. I just didn't want to say I reviewed them and have it be a different set of minutes. I've reviewed the minutes. I'm fine with them. There were a couple tweaks. Anybody else? Troy, Veronica, Rick, is there anything you saw?
I'm good with them.
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
Rick's good with them. If either Veronica or Troy will make a motion to approve as presented, I'll sign them. I'll go into the office and sign them tomorrow. We just need to vote.
Motion to approve.
And so, motion to approve by Troy, seconded by Veronica. All in favor, myself, aye. Troy?
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Okay, so we got our minutes out of the way. We've got a discussion and a possible vote regarding the issuance of Settlers Glen water permit. Who is asking for that discussion? Aaron, do you want to chip in on this, or is there somebody here that wants? Is it? I see Mike O'Shaughnessy's name. Are you, Mike? Are you the one that requested the discussion?
Yeah, I'm here tonight, Mr. Chairman, with Jim O'Brien and Ivo Cole. They're the principals of Settlers Glen LLC. Mr. O'Brien, if the board recalls, we were before you about a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks, regarding connecting to the water system in front of the proposed project. And the board at the time, there were members of the Onset Water Commission here, and the board voted for us to extend the water line through our development to Route 28 and established fees based on, I think it was last year's fees, 2021, I'm sorry. Mr. O'Brien has submitted a letter with additional backup information asking for the board to approve the plans that is before you now that show the water line extended as the board voted. He's willing to have the board's consultant review the plan. We are effectively making zero headway with the water department. Jim had tried to get their review engineer to sign off on it, but again, they're not being cooperative in the process is probably the fairest way to say it. So you folks are the permitting authority. In my opinion, they are a local board subject to your control under 40B. And we're here tonight to see what the board would like to do. Again, Jim had submitted plans revised to meet the board's vote. We're willing to pay the fees, and Jim is willing to pay your consultant to review the plans to make sure they're satisfactory.
Okay, I'm with you to a point. The plans, so there is a new set of plans. If I'm going by my memory, Aaron or any member of the board, kick in if you feel as though my memory's not serving us correctly. We voted on this. We approved, subject to them submitting these plans and us seeing them, and that would be the final leg in this. Our vote has already been taken. That we would, as long as there were plans, we'll need a few bucks for Charlie to look at the plan and make sure there's no flaws in it. But I don't see the plans. Who's got the plans?
They were filed with your office, the zoning board office. Aaron, do you have the ability to bring them up?
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can
do
pull
it.
them up right now. Hold on one second.
We can kind of look at them and just talk about them. And I think the important thing to do here, if Veronica and Troy and Rick agree with me, is get them over to Charlie Rowley and get him to give him the okey dokey, and then we're good to go. We've already voted to approve as long as it's, again, subject to Charlie's review.
So, Mr. Chairman, if you look at the plan, you'll see at the end of the cul-de-sac that we've got a, and Jim, chime in if I'm missing that. Yeah, right there, we have an extension of the water line, bringing it to an easement where we have a sewer line, and that has been extended to the intersection of Cranberry Highway pursuant to your vote, where we'll provide a gate valve and all that stuff. And that's what the board had voted for the last time. Again, as I said, we were happy to do it. We're happy to pay the fees, and we're happy to get Mr. Riley to review and approve the plans. And, if he's satisfied with them, we're asking for the board to vote to approve the connection to the water system.
I believe we already have voted that way, but because what you're showing me here is what we agreed to. But I don't mind re-voting it after Charlie's reviewed it. So unless somebody tells me I'm taking the wrong process, I think the step right now is for us to take a straw poll, a vote to agree to send these plans over to Charlie, we need Charlie's review. We can't vote on it until we get our peer review on it.
I'm okay with that, Mr. Chairman. If that's what the board wants to do, we can get the monies to your department and he can do his review, and we'll come back in a few weeks after he's done, and we'll ask the board to vote to approve the plan, accept the plan, and approve the connection to the water system.
That okay with you, Troy?
Yep, that's fine with me.
Veronica?
Yes, I have a question though. I'm reviewing some of the documents that have gone back and forth between Onset Water Department and Brian Grady. Guess it was an email. I'm looking at the email from February 28th. In the Onset Water Department, Mr. Candiace's response is that the plans don't show a second water main connection on Cranberry Highway as requested by the Onset Water Department. And he goes on to say a few more things. And this is his email. I mean, you can correct me, Mr. O'Shaughnessy, if I'm wrong, but is that email, he's requesting above and beyond what our board has agreed needs to be done, or why is his letter not in agreement with what you submitted?
Through the chair, I don't have that email in front of me, so I can't speak to what Mr. Candias had said. But as you recall, this project was originally approved with a water connection terminating at the cul-de-sac. And we approached the water department about getting a connection approved so we can move forward with the project. The water department, without any basis in their regulations, say, no, that's not good enough. We want you to extend the water line across Route 28 to connect to another main they have on the other side of the road to create a loop condition. In our position is that's not what the board approved initially. We came back to you folks. You guys voted to have us extend it to kind of split the baby with the bathwater, if you will, to bring it to the Route 28 and to pay the fees. That's what we've done. What they're asking for is above and beyond what's required by their own regulations. So I'm not sure what Dave's asking for.
Okay. Thanks. I'm in agreement with Jim. I do think that Charlie Rowley needs to look at these. A lot of it's technical, and I'm not really clear on everything that we're looking at.
So we got, Troy agreed, Veronica agreed. Rick, where are you? You fell off my screen. I know you got logged in. You okay with this? There
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay. So for the sake of time, I noticed that there's no foundations going in or anything yet. So I don't know if everybody's just waiting. what the scoop is, if it's winter, if it's weather, if it's, but for the sake of time, if you guys are looking to expedite this matter, get it set up, the plans are with our planning department. We'll get them to Charlie. Somehow, Aaron, can you communicate with either O'Shaughnessy or O'Brien as to the amount of money that Charlie's gonna need to bless this thing, and then we can all genuflect when he's done.
Yeah, I'll talk to Sonia about getting that set up because I know it's a process, and then I'll communicate with Mr.
just-
O'Shaughnessy
yeah.
as well,
So
and
then
we'll
when
get it done.
Next time they come back, we want to have already had received Charlie's review, his written letter, his, I'm sure he's gonna find a mosquito on the butt of a gnat somewhere. And we'll fix it and we'll go forward from there.
Yep, that sounds like a plan.
Okay, I don't think we need to vote on this. This was set for discussion. Thank you, Mr. O'Shaughnessy. We'll move on to our next item.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your night, fellas
Yep,
and ladies.
it should be a real blast. The next item on the agenda this evening, there's only two more items on the agenda this evening. The next one, vote on continuance 4/13/222 CNS Home Solutions special permit. They've asked for a continuance. Somebody say so moved and somebody say seconded, and we can vote.
So moved.
Second.
And so it's been moved and seconded that we continue. All in favor, say aye. Myself is aye. Troy,
Aye.
Richard,
Aye.
Veronica,
I, with the continuation date of 4/13, I'm not sure if you said that, Jim.
4/13/2022. From
We'll
4/13.
We'll be back at the multi-service center on that night.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That is the
Yeah.
hope.
So it's voted, it's continued, and thank you. So the next item on the agenda is a discussion and possible vote for RJ Motto Inc. That's 7/22. Article 7, year 22, site plan review, special permit, 21 Old Glen Charlie Road. And who's here to bleed on us with that one?
Good evening, Brad Bertolo, JC Engineering.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Good.
With there only being 4 members tonight, I know that the project can be discussed. We would prefer to have a full board. But we're also hoping that this process can still continue, even though we're going to request a continuance. There were questions regarding the interpretation of the zoning bylaw. I spoke with the town planner today. He said he was going to write a memo with his interpretation on how it is. And I discussed the process to get town council to review. I don't know if it's a process that you have to initiate as a board or it's something that the town can initiate. It's something we would want looked at if there's still questions. And if that process can continue, great. But if not, I don't want to continue tonight without a full board in place.
No, I think we can have minor discussion, let anybody air any dirty laundry they may want to air. And then at the end of all that healthy discussion, we can continue. I prefer not to take a vote until we have a 5-member board. So I personally concur with the intent to continue. That said, is there anything else from the applicant? Any other items you want to present or say, or any arguments you want to make at this point?
Good evening to the board. I don't have any further arguments at the moment. I'm going to let Brad take over and tell you what he needs to tell you. And looking forward to a full board and moving forward when we can.
Thank you. Okay, so going back to my board, Troy, any questions, comments?
No, I don't have anything at this time.
Veronica, you got anything at this time?
Not at this time. I just.
Okay, what about you, Rick?
I went back by there again this week and I'm looking in whether it's by right or wrong. I just think that what is proposed is not fair to the neighbors and how that whole area is. I know that there, you could put 1,000 if you get the right terminology in. I just think it's not a good situation to put that many people in the middle of that area. And that's the way I feel about it. I mean, you can't compare this with any other meeting that we had, because nobody is trying to pack this many houses in on a lot that size. And I don't want to hear that we approved this guy. This is a separate entity. This gets treated separate from everything else. And that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. So I have my own feelings on it, and I'll wait till the end, just before we continue, just in all fairness to the applicant, because I might throw a new twist at everybody. But before I even do that, I see other names on the screen here.
Mr. Akabachi.
Yeah.
It's not our intention to discuss anything tonight. I don't have a full 5-member board. So if we can't have any type of discussion about whether or not town council needs to be asked of their opinion at this time, if that's not going to proceed, we want to continue with no further discussion this evening.
You don't want to hear if there's any public, you want to
No,
deny?
it's just going to wait till the following hearing.
Okay, so you're the boss and we're just the horses here. And we always let the boss have his way. We're gonna get Aaron, we're gonna need to have town council's opinion, whatever process we need to go through it.
Mr. Akabachi, just take a vote on that for the board, just to initiate that
Yeah,
process.
we will.
Okay.
We will, but you can handle it once we vote on it, right?
Yep, I'll handle it.
Okay. And Troy and Veronica and Rick, you were able to give your points of view, and I'm going to give mine. I'm looking at the bylaw. It says minimum lot area, 1 family, 2 family, other residential use, non-residential use. I'm looking at a 2-family taking 45,000. I see there's a 2-family on there already. That's 45,000. 45,000 from 81,354 leaves 36,354 square feet. You don't have enough remaining square feet for another 2-family dwelling. You're asking for 2. That's just the way I'm interpreting the bylaw. We'll get the attorney to look at it. And so with that said, we've got several people with several opinions on how this should be handled. Veronica, Troy, Rick, do you guys all agree that we should send this off to council for an opinion?
I do.
Can we have a motion for that to happen?
So moved.
So moved, seconded by?
Can I just say something
No,
really quick?
you can't. No, you can't.
It's not a 2-family there. It's not a 2-family.
Do you understand what no is? It starts with an N and it ends with an O. It means your request has been declined.
What smart ass is that? What
Can I-
smart ass council member is that?
I just have a question. When you say
No,
continue,
no, ma'am, we're not doing public comment tonight. We've agreed to continue.
right, I'm asking what a continuance means.
Continuance means that there'll be another meeting. It'll be posted. You'll have to.
So
you'll hear
nothing-
it at the end. Yeah, before we continue, we'll say we're continuing until when, and then you'll need to log back on or show up at that time.
Perfect, thank you.
So we've got a motion and a second on the floor to turn this over to council for an opinion. I believe we have a second. Do we have a second? Who seconded it? Nobody seconded it?
I'll second it.
Okay, so Troy seconded it. Who made the motion?
I did, sir.
Okay, Rick, motion by Rick, seconded by Troy. All in favor, myself, aye. Troy,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about a continuance and the next meeting. Aaron, can you tell us when the next time they could be in front of us?
April 13th.
So are you guys gonna be prepared for April 13th, Brad?
Yes, that's
Okay.
That's the, thank you.
Unless town council can't make up anything by then, and if so, we'll contact you. So we're gonna have a motion to continue till April, I'm sorry, 13th, you said?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, till April 13th. Anybody here that wants to be heard from the public, April 13th is the answer to that question. All in favor, say aye. Troy,
Aye.
Veronica,
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It's continued.
Thank you.
Thank you for signing on this evening, folks.
Thank you.
And that pretty much ends our agenda for the evening. There's a place here for any other business discussions and comments from board members. Any other business that anybody wants to bring up?
We have this thing coming up with the Settlers Glen, I believe it is.
Yes, we do.
So we
That's
need
the one we
to,
were just talking about the water.
so I mean, we are we gonna make any discussions while we're on with everybody, or are we private now?
No, we're still an open meeting. We haven't closed the meeting. I mean, the meeting's still open. We can talk about it if you want. Like what's the process, what's happening, why? Any questions like that? I think that would be appropriate.
I'm
I don't
fine
think
right
we-
now.
Pardon me? You're fine?
I'm not gonna discuss it now.
Okay. Okay. That's about, I think that's probably better because we haven't had the applicant notified that we're discussing it, so. Comments from board members, any other business? We're at the end of our agenda, ladies and gentlemen. Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second? It's been
Second.
moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor, myself, aye. Troy,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Veronica?
Aye.
It's unanimous. We're gone. Good evening.